value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show where we trade it and we do not gamble it. I'm Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, aka KC the Great, and welcome to the show once again. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful show, the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show. And this is where we discuss everything that matters in the crypto space. If you look at what is going on in the market, yesterday I told you we have a buy, and that was the reason why I changed our entry point to green. And actually our entry point was around 83k or 87,000 thereabout. But let's say you did not get into the market at that point. I told you the best thing you can do is to wait for that candle to finish, because when that candle finish, you can see where your stop loss is going to be instead of risking huge or big percentage on your portfolio. So if you look at what is going on right now, even though you get into the market right now, we now have our stop loss at 90,000 or 91. No, not 91, it's below 91. Let's say around 90,900. And if you look at it, if you get into the market right now at, let's say, 93 thereabout, you'll be risking about 2.6%. You can see it's better than the 12% we'll be risking yesterday. So is Bitcoin still a buy? Yes, BTC is still a buy, because you can see we now have a break of structure, a retest, and the market is starting to move on. But I'm still waiting for it to break this 94,000 zone, because until we break that 94,000 zone, that is where we can say we are now having an uptrend inside this massive downtrend we have, and we can now check the possibility of where the market will grow or move back to, which could be, let's say, maybe 0.382. If we're going to have the continuation, that will be around 98,000, or 50%, that will be around 103, or if it's going to get back to 0.78 fib, that will be around 116,000 US dollar. But for now, we're just going to keep our eye on what is going on regarding the entry we have now, which means Bitcoin is still a buy. But please do not forget to put your stop loss at 90,900 in case we have a dump today or anytime, because we have not broken the 94,000 to be sure that we're going to be in an uptrend. But I have a feeling we're going to bring it because of this structure we had and the pullback. The real problem I'm having with this pullback is this pullback did not touch 0.78 fib. Almost, we have about 1,000 point in between where I'm expecting it to touch and where the market touch. So, but for that, we're still just going to be watching it and take a look at how it goes. But before we continue with the chart, let's take a look at some news that are making waves on the radar. And you can see BTC holds above 93k as December rate cut bet rise and ETF flow tilt towards Ethereum. Yes, if you remember earlier last month, we had the news that possibility of Fed cutting rate dropped to 10%, but now it has, risen back to around, I think, 60 or 70%, and that is why we're seeing this massive, sudden rally that is happening on the chart, because everyone believes we are going to have rate cuts this month. But if that fails to happen, that would be the end of this bull cycle, because I believe we're going to dump and we're going to go below that 75k all of us have been avoiding. And if you look at Ethereum as well, Ethereum has been maintaining surge past 3,200 as big order resume accumulation. And if you look at the chart with ETH, you see that we have now broken the structure comfortably, even though our entry point was at 2,700. If you missed that now, we have now broken the structure comfortably above 3,100. So that means buying Ethereum now is a good buy for investors or spot trader. The only thing is, make sure you put your stop loss at around 2,980 in case we have a dump. But I feel like we're going to have a good rally, maybe back to around 3.6 thereabout to form a double top here. Then maybe the market will tilt back if the rate cut did not happen. And speaking of good news, there's another great news from Taiwan. Taiwan now plans to launch their first stablecoin in 2026 as the digital asset bill advances. And we all know, since we've been seeing all these great countries, Russia, Japan, Korea, they've been pushing towards that. Even yesterday, UK made the law to now accept Bitcoin and crypto as property. So I think the future is bright for cryptocurrency, but is the future bright for this bull cycle? Are we still going to hit the all-time high, or the bull run has come to an end? That is what is buzzing on the internet right now. But like I told you on this show, we take a look at the charts every day and we discuss what you need to do with your portfolio. Right now, BTC is a buy, Ethereum is a buy, and you can jump onto it right now, because yesterday I was telling you should hold on, because if we have a dump, you won't have where to put your stop loss. You have to put it down there at 83,000, which is not good. But right now we have an independent daily candle that has finished. Now we can use that as our stop loss, which is 90,900, in case we have a kicker or we have what we call what will I call it, engulfing. So if you have any of the two, we know we are safe, and we're just going to be risking like 2% of our portfolio compared to risking 12% yesterday. So it's a great day and it's a good timing right now. You can get into the market, but do not forget to put your stop out. All right, let's dive into the chart fully and see what we need to do. Like I said, with Bitcoin, it's a buy. Now you can see I changed it to green since yesterday, and let me even put the green right here because that's our entry. Let me get the proper entry at, okay, it fails to touch our entry point, so definitely let's check the lower time frame. I think our entry was not 87. We got entry at, no, it was not 83. We got entry at 87. Yeah, so we're gonna leave it there so we can remember where our entry was. All right, that's that about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still a buy, and you can just start accumulating if you want to buy more BTC and hold on to it. Now let's dive into altcoins. Like I said, Ethereum is a buy. Remember, we have a new low, and the new low has now given us a structure I've been screaming about for, I don't know, maybe since October, or I don't know, but we just have a great one now, and you can see the structure right here. Nice entry right there at 2,700. Even though you're not using the pullback entry, if you're using the break of structure, nice entry at 3,001 as well. So is Ethereum still a buy? Yes. ETH is still a buy, but we're not going to put our stop loss at 2,978. That is where I believe we should put our stop loss regarding the ETH right now. But you can buy Ethereum right now. It's a buy, but remember, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research and always trade with the money you can afford to lose. All right, that's that with ETH. ETH is a buy, but let's see if it's the same thing with the other altcoins, especially those ones that did not break structure. You can see yesterday I gave you entry for Link. I said you can get into Link at $13, but there is a catch with that. If you're buying Link, you should know you're buying within the minor structure. It's not the major structure. The major structure is when Link breaks above $20 or drop down to $10. That is when we can, say you can buy link. But apart from that one, I think you need to keep an eye on it. Yes, it's a buy, but this buy we're seeing now, it's the movement inside the major structure. We need the major structure to be broken for us to know, okay, link is now safe. But for now, if you're buying it, you need to keep an eye on it, because any pullback could just push you out of the market. It's different to BTC. If you look at Bitcoin, we have a new low, we have a structure that is good. If you look at Ethereum, we have a new low, we have a structure. But with link is not the same. Link is still inside the major structure and still fails to drop into the buying zone, which is the 0.78 Fibonacci for the first movement of the hand. All right, let's take a look at another altcoins, and we're going to take a look at AAV. AAV is just like link as well. We have a buy now on a lower time frame or a minor structure inside the major structure. So it's a buy, but you can see I still leave it at red because the major structure is not a buy yet. Even if you look at link, I still leave the line in red color because the major structure has not been activated yet. And this minor structure, you could just move up, then started coming down again. So if you're trading this minor structure, you need to make sure you keep an eye on it. And that is why I do not advise it for spot traders or investors, rather for day traders, people that spend much time on the screen that they can easily close if it's turning around. But for investors and spot trader that you want to put your money and sit and relax and wait for returns to come, maybe in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, I don't think you should use this strategy, because you need to leave the market at any given point in time. And one thing you need to understand, the swap and the interest rate for auto spot trading and investment is not that cheap compared to when you're doing leverage trading. So you need to mind of that. Let's take a look at Solana. If you look at Solana gave us a new low, drop into our buying zone at 126. You can see I put it right there. Our buying zone, you can see the green is there at 126 and is moving nicely. So is Solana still a buy? Yes, Solana it's a buy. But now we have an independent candle where we need to watch out for if the market should start dumping. 137,000 is where we need to be careful about that. What about BNB? The same thing with BNB. BNB drop into our buying zone at $800. Let me see, $817. That's where we have a buying zone, and it has now continued moving up. Is BNB still a buy? Yes, it's still a buy, but don't forget to put your stop at 871 because we now have an independent candle, and if we have an engulfing or we have a kicker, we are expected to leave the market. All right, let's take a look at LTC. LTC is the same thing. LTC break the bottom of where we have the floor, but the reason why we need to hold on to Litecoin is because we failed to break this $74 and it has started moving up again. So to me, LTC is still a buy. And why are we buying LTC? Because it broke above the structure some weeks ago. You can see we have it breaking $102, pushing back, and now we have the successful breakout before we have the invalidated. Now it's still a buy because the invalidation fails to break the bottom and break what will I call it, the independent candle that breaks the bottom. So I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So you need to be careful, but it's still a buy. You can hold on to your LTC if you have anyone in your portfolio. Let's take a look at SUI. SUI, the same thing with AAV and Link. I'm still going to leave it in red because the main structure has not been broken, which is around $3. So whatever you're trading with SUI right now, you're trading inside the major structure. You need to keep your eye on it. Anything coming down, you need to leave the market because the major structure has not been broken like BTC, Ethereum, BNB, and Solana. They don't have a new low yet. And that's why I say I have a feeling the market is still going to create a new low. So all these altcoins can move together and push ahead the ahead of the rally. Let's take a look at AVAX, and if you look at AVAX, the same thing is, it has even not broken the structure in the minor structure, so please stay away from AVAX. What about Cardona? The same thing with Cardona. Please stay away from Cardona, although Cardona is almost there, because if you look at what happened with Cardona, look at where our buying this thing is at 0.369, but we touch 0.37, yeah, 37 thereabout. So we have little tiny bits to touch it, and with my own rules I wait until, no, I think we've touched it. Maybe I didn't draw the graph well, because you can see, let me move it up. Yes, I think we touch it. Yeah, I think Cardona is a buy. I'm not gonna lie, because look at it. If I'm drawing it nicely now, I think we have touched where our buying point is, which is at 0.37. So let's drop it down there. That's the buying point for 37. So I think we can jump right into Cardona as well, because it has touched our buying zone area. Yes, we have touched it. Maybe I didn't draw it well yesterday. That is why I didn't give you guys to get in. But right now, with me redrawing it on the charts, I think it has touched it, and you guys can jump right into it. And we're gonna see stop loss will be at 0.26. 0.26 is our stop loss if you're jumping into it, so make sure you watch your portfolio. All right, let's move on. Let's check XRP is not a buy yet. Please stay away from it. Let's take a look at Ton Coin is not a buy yet. Stay away from it. What about Estadex? Estadex is not a buy yet. Please stay away from it. What about Pump.Fun? Pump.Fun actually has given us a buy now. Let's analyze it together. We have breakout structure, invalidation, another entry, invalidation, then drop here. Now we have a structure move up, invalidation, then yes. So no, we're not going to get in right now. We need today's candle to break above 0.0034, then we can use tomorrow's candle to get onto Pump.Fun if you're interested in adding it to your portfolio. Remember, this is not financial advice, it's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research and trade with the money you can afford to lose. All right, that's that regarding Pump.Fun. Let's just wait for today's candle to finish. Do not get into it right now. What about Ondo? Ondo is not a buy yet. Please stay away from Ondo. What about Zcash? Zcash is not a buy yet, although it's brewing up. We need a structure or let it drop into the buying zone, which we are not there yet. So Zcash is not a buy yet. Please stay away from it. Although we're having a double bottom for Zcash at 296, which is going to signify a good buy. Looking at the retracement of what we have there, you see, if you look at the retracement of this that we have here, we have a kicker, and anytime we have a kicker, you should know the market must drop into the buying zone. So with Zcash, I can say we are in a buying zone indirectly. Why? Because we've dropped into it and we've not destroyed the 297. So if at all I want to jump into Zcash, I can buy Zcash right now. But before I conclude that, let's check any of the lower time frame if we're going to see any signal there, because our buying zone will be around 396, and it has dropped that because you can see the structure right here that pushed the market upward, and that is around 297. But let's take a look at lower time frame to see if we have any structure that will make us buy into the buying zone. Yeah, we drop into it. Okay, let's see if Zcash should break above 380 today. Yes, I think we can get into Zcash back. If it breaks above 380 today, maybe we can get back into Zcash. But for now, let's just hold on. Let it break above 380. If it breaks above 380 today, then we can buy Zcash. But it has dropped into the buying zone, because if you look at this and that push up, we had a kicker. And when you have a kicker, what you need to do, you need to get out of the market and buy when the market drops to 0.78 fib. And exactly is what I'm showing you guys right here. So 0.78 if you're above the kicker. We failed to go above the kicker. Now it has dropped into the buying zone. So I think we can buy or wait for it to break 380. If it breaks 380, I think it's going to be a good buy. Then our stop loss will be at 297, because that's where we have the low. All right, let's move on to meme token. If you have any other altcoins or any project you want me to analyze for you on this show, you can drop in the comment section, or you can DM me. I'm going to add it to the list of the chart we analyze every day of the week. Now let's take a look at meme tokens, and we're going to start with Dogecoin. Of course, Dogecoin is not a buy, no structure. It hasn't dropped into the buying zone. Please stay away from Dogecoin. What about Shiba Inu? Shiba Inu also has not dropped into the buying zone, but let me do it again so I'll know I am 100% correct. Yeah, it has not touched the buying zone, and even with the minor structure that we can use to just make some money is not really looking good. So please stay away from Shiba Inu. Let's take a look at Pepe. Let's see, it has dropped close to the buying zone, but let me draw it again. Let's draw it again. Yeah, the drawing is correct. It's remaining a little bit to touch it, just a little bit to touch it. So with Pepe, we're having a slight movement to touch it. So what I will say is, let's wait if Pepe breaks above 0.0000495, then maybe we can use that to get into the market, because I like it to touch the buying zone, even drop inside it. That will give me a 100 confirmation. So Pepe is 50-50, but remember, it's not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research. Now let's take a look at Popcard. Popcard has dropped into the buying zone. Yes, Popcard dropped into the buying zone. You can see I changed it to green since yesterday. So Popcard is still a buy with our stop loss at 0.06283. What about Trump token? Let's see. Trump token yesterday, I think I changed it to green. Why did I change it to green? I think because it dropped into our buying zone. Yes, because you can see that movement going up. Yeah, it has dropped into our buying zone, so you can see hold on to Trump token. Let's take a look at Millennia. Millennia 2 touched our buying zone, so you can see hold on to. You can see I leave it in green, but don't forget stop part is still at 0.08. What about Notcoin? Let me delete this. I think I put this since yesterday. Yeah, so we can see it clearly. It has not dropped into the buying zone, no structure. Please stay away from Notcoin. What about Deep? Deep, the same thing, stay away from it. What about X? The same thing, but we're having a structure this morning. Let's see if X will break above 0.00002321. Then, yeah, let's put it there, yellow line. Maybe we're going to have confirmation today for X. What about Swamp? I expect Swamp to be dumping, because once other cryptocurrencies moving up, Swamp always dump. But we have a buy for Swamp, because you can see we have a structure right here. We broke above the structure and we have invalidation. Good. Then we have a massive buy above that. Invalidation again on a kicker. But when you have a kicker, what do? You just leave the market, but it doesn't mean it's a sell. Then you wait for buying zone, and our buying zone has been activated at 0.01126. So we can hold on to Swamp, even though I have a feeling it should be dumping if other cryptocurrency is moving up, but it's a buy right now. Let's just hold on to the to that, and our stop loss is going to be below 0.01007. Remember, all these are not financial advice, they're just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research and trade with the money you can afford to lose. But before we move to the next segment of this great show, let's take a look at the bonus, and that is gold. And what did I tell you yesterday about gold? I said please stay away from gold. Why? Because we have a kicker. I told you please stay away from gold. You know, I gave you entry for gold at 4,050, and I told you take profit at 4,200 and stay away. Stay away from gold. When we have another entry, we're going to buy it. And what is the entry we should be looking at for gold is going to be this, which is going to be I told you yesterday I'll be waiting for it to come down back to 4,050 thereabout, or we break above 4,246 thereabout. That is when we'll get back to go. But for now, stay away from gold. You can see since 3 days, since on Monday, 4 days now, that I told you take profit and stay away from gold. You'll see that gold has not really done anything. It has not moved above where we exit it. So please and please, although it's not financial advice, just for educational purpose and entertainment, but we've always been right on this show. So for now, stay away from gold until we have another good entry. All right, that's that on chart analysis this morning. Bitcoin is still trading at 93,320 and is still a buy if you get in at 87,000, or if you get in at 92,000, or even though you're getting in right now, BTC is still a buy. But make sure you put your stop loss or your stop out at 90,900. And that is that regarding the chart analysis. Let's now check what is going on with the market itself. You can see the market, cryptocurrency market cap is still around 3.2 trillion US dollars with about 161 billion trading volume in the last 24 hours. And you can see the trending token has changed. We now have Ethereum and Dex making their way into the trending token. You can see the top gainers right there, but we cannot move on without checking the top 10 every day to know which top 10 cryptocurrency are doing great. And you can see Bitcoin is still at number 1, Ethereum at number 2, Tether at number 3, XRP number 4, BNB at number 5, Solana at number 6, USDC at number 7, Lido Stake at number 8, Tron at number 9, and Dogecoin is the only meme token in top 10 cryptocurrency. If you're interested in knowing where your project sits on the cryptocurrency market ranking, you might want to check that out on CoinGecko.com. All right, let's now move into the event of the day to see what news we should be expecting and what could actually affect our portfolio or affect the cryptocurrency market and the trading in general. And today you see we're expecting the unemployment claims data to come out at 3:30 p.m. SCST time, that is 1:30 p.m. GMT. Also, we're waiting for the data to come out for the PMI in Canada and another job called in the United States at 2:30 p.m. SAST time. So those are data that are very important for us to watch out today on the radar, and that is what we'll be taking our eyes on. All right, guys, that's what I have for you on the show this morning, but we cannot end the show without checking what the fear and greed index looks like. You know, we've been in extreme fear for more than 2 weeks before we now start to see the changes. Now the market is now on fear. Yesterday was fear, last week extreme fear, and last one has now changed to extreme fear. And if you look at it, you see we are sitting on 26% right now. That is what the crypto market sentiment analysis are showing us this morning. All right, if you're still watching the live till now, thanks for riding with me. I'm still your humble host, Ahmed Oladimeji Kazeem, aka KC the Great. And if you've not subscribed to the channel and you like what we do on this great channel, please subscribe, like, and share. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can always get notified when we come live or we drop any content that will benefit you from the cryptocurrency space. And also, you can follow me on X, you can follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on TikTok and on Instagram for more nuggets that I drop on those social media handles. All right, guys, till I catch you tomorrow on another wonderful packed episode of this great show. Please stay out of trouble, trade well, and remember, it's not how many trades you take, but how much money you make or how much profit you make out of the market.